Hey guys, welcome back. It's Grim Reaper coming at you for another video for Raidshadowlegends. Hopefully you're doing well and hopefully you're looking after yourselves. Today we have a guest on the channel. Would you like to introduce yourself, KRUYSEN, and tell me a little bit about yourself and the type of content that you are making on YouTube? And congratulations on the content creator program as well.
Oh, thank you a lot. My nickname in game is KRUYSEN. I've been playing Raid for the past 5 years. I am a IPR club member. I drive Doc Morroy's account on Live Arena, Hydra, and alt content. We are actually #1 on Live Arena right now. And I also, on my own account, I'm top 100 on Live Arena too, but in the bottom side with my own account. Because I don't have the time to play it all the time. And I recently started doing content. It's been, I think, 5 months, if I'm not mistaken. And recently got into the content creation program. It's something really fun to do. I love this game. I love the community. I love everything about it. So why not? Why not? And we are here to talk about it. So it's gonna be fun.
So I do appreciate you for taking your time and coming onto the channel. So today, guys, we're going to talk about a subject that is quite something that I talk about a lot on stream, mainly on stream on my Twitch channel. We're talking about the three things that we would change, and we were going to both got three things would change each. So I suppose we're going to let KRUYSEN open up as he's the guest on the channel. And please make sure you go and drop him a sub. I'll drop his channel down in the link, so please go ahead, check his content. And if you're interested in Live Arena, you do go live quite regularly, right? Just
Yeah,
after
every day.
reset. Yeah. So really good arena player. Obviously, if you have heard of my channel, you should have heard of his, but go check out for sure. So Doc, KRUYSEN, would you like to start off with like the first thing that you would like to see as a change, a positive change for Live Arena?
Yeah. First of all, I would kick out with a friend list and friend battles. I think that would be the most valuable thing that Raid could do to the game life spawn. It was to introduce a competitive scenario. And through the live arena, I think is the easiest way for them to do that right now with the game content we got at the moment. So introducing friendlies and friend battles, we could arrange championships, events, everything that can make a competitive scenario come to live. And that will bring so much life spawn to the game and funny to the community and things like that. Imagine cheer for teams and clans or friends doing a competition between your clanmates and things like that, facing each other in live arena, testing things with the champions in live arena. That could be achieved with friendlies and friend battle. That would be amazing for the game, for the ones that enjoy arena, and for all the community. But because the game would grow with this competitive scenario that can be done through these.
Yeah, I agree. I talk about it quite regularly, something similar as well. Like we could have we could bring the communities together of like content creators that actually really enjoy Live Arena. And I guess there isn't many content creators right now that do content within Arena in itself. And obviously we don't get a big audience like this. And the audience that we do get is a very small audience. So for me, I would love to kind of player and don't need to give us any type of rewards or anything like that. It just would be a really fun thing to stream, like on my Twitch channel, where we could maybe like go head to head as content creators or go head to head with like our communities, and then we could reward
Yeah, exactly.
and then we could really reward the winner, right? Like we get giveaways, etc. And we could definitely make it spicy, right? We don't need raids to give out free stuff as well. Like we could definitely do something like that as well. And
Yeah,
obviously, there's plenty of ideas we could do within that. So I think that would be really, really solid for the game. And yeah, for me, I have something similar. Um, the one thing for me where it's kind of different is I do different accounts, right? I do my account quite regularly, but then I also play in other gold tiers, gold 3, gold 2, sometimes in a silver 2, right? Depending on the takeover. And I'll try and help encourage people to do live arena, which can be quite daunting because one of the time it takes, etc. And one of the things that I'll change is the chest. Obviously, they buffed this chest recently. The gear is really, really solid. I think Z set, which KRUYSEN can tell you way more than I could about this being
yeah,
used over Savage and Merciless, right? For the Trunders, etc. And obviously, I'm actually a really big fan of Impulse. I've started using Impulse quite regularly myself. I think personally, this is slightly better than Merciless and
Flex.
Reflex, and it's hard to farm it when you have to get 35 wins. And obviously, in Raid right now, is the power creep is kind of massive, especially with Gold 4. It's mainly Gold 4 that's a problem. Like, for example, the video will drop at some point today. I did 10 fights. 4 of these fights, only 3 of these fights, I got Armad's pick. And someone who has a small roster, the Armad's pick is quite daunting. And obviously, it's these two players, for example, if I had the Armads, this was an easy win for these two
Yeah,
players. But because they had the Armads, it was a different story overall. So for me, Armads is such a big power creep, they need to kind of set the next power creep for Armads. And one of
yeah,
the things is giving us more accessible ways of getting more mythicals. So obviously, I won't go into it too much, but I think giving us like 20, 30 primals per month for people who are in the top end of arena to reward us for our time, because we also spend our gems, we spend a lot of time doing this. I know when I've got time, I really try and do much as possible as well. I do 10 quite regularly, and then some days I go pretty nutty and go 30, 40 myself. So yeah, I
yeah.
think this should be rewarded to people that actually do pay attention and try and bring some positivity to this, and then make it the
Yeah,
main way of getting the primals as well.
lower amount of wins to get a chest,
Yeah,
and bigger amount of primal quartz that we can acquire would be a lot gooder,
yeah.
a lot better,
Even
and
yeah. What would
better pieces. Remove the 5 star.
yeah?
At least have
That's a good call. Yeah. What would you say is a perfect amount of wins? Because personally, I like the idea of, like, for example, gold 4 is the top end. Give the gold 4 players maybe 30 primals a month, because it's still 200 per mythical when you talk about Mercy. And obviously, they don't do 2x's every regularly. They're doing like every 4 months, 3 months. So
Yep.
I would reward the people who actually are trying to be fair to other people in the community, and then I would actually penalize a few of the others who are looking for easy fights in Gold 1 and Gold 2, which is nothing to do with the players. They're just, they're having an easy life, which is fair enough. But if there was higher quarters in the upper levels, this would encourage them to come out and then actually make the matchmaker system much better for other players that are actually in Gold 2, Gold 3, etc. as well. Obviously, I'm a
Yeah.
big fan of mythical fusions as well, but that's a different topic that I would like to see. Um,
Another video.
yes, that is. Um, But yeah, honestly, I'm always calling it out in content creator chat. You'll see me mention it quite regularly. I think it's going to come Christmas, personally. Um,
Yeah.
but that's the best way to. I don't think there's a champion that could outpower Armads right now. Like, they released a new champion, right? What do you think about
Yeah.
him?
Oh, I think something that can be very destructive if played right?
correctly.
I only faced him once.
You
I
faced him
only
already.
faced him. Yeah, and I did it. I was with Armands, and I didn't use the Armands A2 to not proc him,
You just
but I
sheeped him.
was with Lazarius. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, no, no. I used the ship on another champion that was a little bit faster, and I went with Lazarius in sequence, and I forgot Lazarius also removed a little bit of turn meter, and he was so slow. I think he was zero speed.
Mm.
That the turn meter that Lazarius removed give him the extra turn, and he destroyed two of my champions. Luckily, I had Siegfried and Siegfried passive procced, and I had my turn and I killed him. But it was a dangerous battle.
Yeah. I think he would catch a few people out when he first comes out. Personally, for
Yeah,
me, Stone Skin's a problem for him. And I think another thing as well that I kind of see quite regularly, or I do quite regularly, is I just like, for example, Marius, right? Marius can kind of counter Armands
yeah,
with the A1. I just sheep him. That's it.
yeah,
His sheep gone. That's it. He was gone for like the rest of the fight. So
yeah.
I think that's a big problem. I think Armads is still got the upper hand, and that's something I would like to see. I don't know. I don't really like Armads, but
Harmons is the best first pick for any live arena battle you could have.
yeah,
Unless you are very, 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 very big whale.
yeah.
That we have some here.
It's
But
on Doc's account. Do you pick him first?
not anymore. Not
No,
anymore. I used to until 1 month ago, but now not anymore.
fair enough. He,
Marishika or Speed Booster.
pick,
Lazarius,
yeah, pick him.
Galatier, something like that.
Yeah,
Because it's more in the meta right now. Because Armans is not a mythical. And not being a mythical means a +4 6-star mythical with best speed gear will outspeed him.
yeah, for sure. I actually get.
So that makes a difference.
I think I've seen one or two. Was it yours? Was outspid Mosifi? I think it might have been
I
you.
think it is.
Yeah, yeah. My CV is like 425, guys. Just let you
Yeah.
know, this is top end of arena. Um,
Yeah.
we've met a few times in live arena, right? I think I've only beat you once. That was on Edwin Pete's account. That's because you got sheep like 4 times. So, and you didn't actually know it was me at the time. So yeah. Anyway, so what would be the second thing you would change?
Since I love everybody that knows me knows that I love live arena. I love arena at all meanings, but
Mm,
people that are doing battles every day and sharing the love for the arena and things like that, after they got Quintus, they kind of lose a parameter of growing as a real reward
mm-hmm,
that we could get. So I think a longer roadmap of rewards would be awesome. For example, until you get 480, 4,080
mm,
for the Quintus, you have that rewards lines.
yeah.
After that, for every 1k point you got, you should have another prize. And the very high marks, for example, 10k, 15k, 20k, 25k, that only a few will reach, or it will be a lot longer for many to reach, should have a very, very, very unique prizes, like unique avatars, unique frames. There
Mm,
are something that is coming on the next patch, the frames. So things like that, unique skins for the champions. Not something that you can capitalize. You don't need to give these players, because they are already the top of the players,
mm-hmm,
a new champion that only them will have. No, do make them have something unique. For example, you're showing Chris on the screen. Give Chris a skin that only these players will have. The ones that reach it that high on their rewards roadmap.
mm,
You know, uh, f- uh, avatar frames, special avatars, in-game difference, something that make it difference, unique things.
mm-hmm,
That would make these persons that love to play it daily and do it something to chase, and more people will chase that.
Yeah,
What will make the arena even better, more competitive, and things like that. More people will try to do it.
it's worth noting as well. If more people join Gold 4 and Gold 3, that people that don't have such stack rosters like myself, for example, would actually
Yeah,
probably have a bit of an easier life as well, because we would face people with the same kind of roasters. Most people, some days, you just literally see non-stop mythicals, which is it's just business. That is
yeah,
what it is. I don't complain so much about facing big mythical teams. I think my biggest frustration is climbing is a bit of a dull thing because of how the leagues work, etc. But yeah,
yeah,
I agree that more milestones, more better rewards. Like, I can imagine like people joining the top 100. It's really, really impressive. And there's some people who are not so well known actually, but are really, really good players. Like, for example, I don't know if you're aware of his channel, but Jester, for example, he's 83. He's a
yeah,
really good live arena player as well for
yeah,
like what he's got. He's not so like crazy stacked account either, but he's like a really solid player. And I
yeah,
think just giving him like something different, giving yourself like something a bit different, like they do with the Platinum Arena avatars. Like
yeah.
you see this and you think,
Something,
oh, you know,
yeah, something unique would make
yeah,
these players a lot more attached to the game.
mm,
And we'll give something to chase. For example, we are at number one on Doc Morris account. Why do we still need to keep climbing? Why doing fights every day?
mm,
Just to keep the first place for nothing.
yeah.
It's
You're not getting any
it's
trophies or anything like that.
yeah, we will never get nothing for that, but we still doing because we love the game, we like the
Mm,
arena, we like the match. It's the most competitive thing that we found in the game,
yeah,
so we keep doing it. But if we had something to chase, we'll do it a lot happier every
mm,
day, and not only us, more players.
yeah.
More players. Okay, let me try to get that exclusive avatar, exclusive skin, exclusive frame. Let me reach 5K points on Gold 4. Let me reach 6K points, 7K points, 8K points, and people will grow.
It
People
doesn't
will
cost a
grow.
lot of money either to do, and it saves them making champions, uh, etc. Like coming up with new ideas for champions, etc. So I definitely like the idea. Like personally, I'm not a big fan of skins, but I'm a bit of a sucker for avatars. Like for example, like I ran my UDK avatar for so long because not a lot of people have the UDK avatar. Now I run
Yeah,
my cardio avatar quite regularly because actually he was one of the first Void Legendaries that really made a big impact on my account when he was released in the game. I got him at the same time as Sifi, so I kind of threw him in the vault a little bit because obviously I was focusing on Sifi and he was game changer for me because I wasn't very fast. I used to use Cardiac Risk, Double Torment against speed
yeah,
meta teams. And I
and he
rem-
brings a lot of utility.
yeah, I mean, I can do ally attack, I can do cleanse, high resistance was key. He was very good against Hedgie, which was like meta as well. If I got
Like,
locked out against the warlords, I could just use Torments, passives against them, one nuke, one stun. It was one of my favorite arena teams for a very, very long time until Torment kind of fell out of the meta. So that's why Krisk is my favorite champion as well. Because I had him in the shield set, went for bolster. That's a different question. That's a different video for a different day. I won't
yeah,
ramble too much about that. But yeah, I agree. Like people are a bit suckers for avatars. You can see some as well. Some of these players, while they're taking different avatars because most people are not using them. They
yeah.
want something to stand out. They want to stand out. For example, Chewie's got the recently added
Odin.
Odin. Do you have Odin?
Yes, not the avatar, but the champion. Yes.
Oh, I have the avatar. I suppose you joined just after they did the event for that.
Yeah, I joined after the it already I could do it, but I had
Mm,
like 2 days to do it, so
yeah,
I
not
decided not to do
yeah.
it.
I can't blame you. So yeah, like these are not easy to get as well. Like you have to put a lot of work in to get these. I've always been a fan of this
Yeah,
one. I really love this. Like this
I
one.
had to I had to be in the top three 8 times to get the first one.
Oh, really? Is it just top
Yeah,
three? Is it top 10?
only top three.
Oh, okay. I thought it was top 10.
Only top three. Yeah, and
Um,
it's 50% of chance.
it looks so cool. Even the Carnage one, I like Carnage, but everyone gets that. Anyway, so I suppose going into my number two, which is
Yeah,
going to be, I suppose, kind of the same, right? Re-rolling into what Kurslan mentioned already. I would actually like to see a buff to a champion. And he gets so much stick. He's actually not a bad champion at all. I think he was just released a bit too late, right? And I would want to see
yeah,
Quintus buffed. A bit like what Curzon said. I did the exact same where he mentioned earlier. I got my Quintus. I stopped for about 3 months. I think I was about 700. 726 was my personal best on rankings at that time when I got Quintus. And to be honest, he's a really good champion. He's solid in Fire Knight. He's solid in Hydra. He's good champion in, I suppose, lower levels of Live Arena could be used. Bit of RNG. He just needs a slight buff. So I think like a unkillable passive maybe, or maybe even like a block damage passive.
yeah,
Something like similar to Odin, but only on his south because he's a nuker in a day. I think we don't want to make him too broken, or maybe
yeah.
like something to counter Ahmad's, which would be really cool.
He definitely can do damage. He
Yeah,
already can do a lot of damage.
yeah,
So to bring him to the meta, you just need to give him a little bit of survivability, not something crazy broken, just a little bit like a passive to resist a little bit of damage,
mm,
an unkillable or something like that. You can when using the A2, you can stall the stone skin and things like that.
mm,
Guaranteed remove stone skin on the A2. Things like that could make him a meta
yeah,
not a top of the meta, but a usable champion right
yeah.
now. Because right now he's so squishy that if you don't kill your opponent, you're gonna die, even for the supports.
I agree.
So
I think the
you might
A3,
avoid.
yeah, I think the A3 could do with a slight buff on damage multiplier. Um, what do you think about that one?
Yeah, it's the AoE. Is the AoE of his skills and can
Mm,
refresh the A2. A little bit more damage would be interesting, but not something broken because I think the A1 and the A2 is the thing that
solid.
really shine on his kit.
Mm,
His A1 is massive, bro. His A1 can do real good damage. And his A2 has the potential of killing champions, ignoring the passives and things like that. You can one shot auras with that
I kind
and
of,
things like that.
yeah, I kind of wish that this was a little bit better, like ignore stone skin. Um, a little bit, just so like a little bit better against stone skin meta. You know?
Yeah, I think if we had like guaranteed removal stone skin or steal stone skin or things like that, would make him a lot better. Because imagine if he could guaranteed steals the stone skin.
Mm,
You click on the champion, you're gonna do a massive damage, and you're gonna steal the stone skin.
yeah,
So the problem he got with survivability will turn into a advantage on him because you at least have a second turn.
yeah. He will if
You
he had
know?
stones. If he could steal stone skin, that actually brings survivability into his kit, which would
Yeah.
be really, really good for him overall. So I think like something like that. He's really solid with ally attack. Obviously, he would definitely one shot a UDK, which is like one of the most annoying champions still in lower
Yeah.
level live arena. I think he's had his glory days a bit too long overall. Um,
If he had this skill, he could even be a meta on the classic arena reset.
yeah, yeah, I agree. Yeah, it could be really, really solid. Who was the player that used him? Or was it Santo? I think it was
Uh, there,
Santo
i-
who
there is
used
still
him.
a player that used him on two-turn Stormskin on the top 100. But right now, after the bomb champions and the P point, it's really hard to play the way he would
Mm,
play. He
yeah,
used to play everybody on Stormskin very slow and waiting for the turn to happen.
because of
But right
reaction. Yeah.
now, he cannot do that because of the meta.
Yeah. But that's what I would change as number 2. For yourself, what would you mention for number 3?
As number 3,
Mm.
I would say, even being top 1 on the rank, I would love to see seasons to reset the rank and put everything together back to 0. Not a full reset, but a soft reset.
Mm.
They could have a ranking globally, counting the points forever,
Yeah.
like we got right now,
Mm-hmm.
and a second rank based on season.
Mm.
So in every season you go back to the first tier of the gold, bronze, silver, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
or whatever state you are on the arena. No, you don't need to go back to you're on gold 4 and go back to bronze 1. You can keep on the person on gold, but on the lowest tier of
Yeah.
gold. Similar what they do on the classic arena, but a little bit bigger the
I w-
reset.
yeah, I would probably
And
just maybe do the reset for the top. For the top, maybe just leave like everyone else, and just for like the
yeah,
top gold 4, I would probably
could
just add the
happen.
reset there, because then you can all like run and see who's gonna get to the top, and then like for example, you know how you got so many points here. This is a really big achievement. Like not many people could beat this. I would
Yeah.
actually put on your profile here, which would be more impressive than credit card wars or, and Hydra Clash, etc. With like your personal best points. They do something similar in
Yeah.
Clash of Clans, and then you get like bonuses, and you can get like, for example, there would cap out at 5,000, and anything over 5,000 you would get on your profile as well, which is really cool. Um,
Yeah.
which yeah, I guess would be a really good thing as well. Like, there's a lot of players who mention this as well. For example, I think Doc mentioned it, Fires mentioned it. I think I've seen Husker mention it as well. Husker
Yeah, a lot of
is
players recently changed their names to
hmm, yeah,
reset live arena and things like that
hmm,
because it's something that the community wants.
yeah,
And it will motivate new players to try to achieve. We know we have big krakens that are not competing there because they started the game too far
hmm,
to try. There
yeah,
are crazy ones like Cartman that are climbing like crazy and play all the 4 seasons, and they gradually will be top 1
yeah.
if they keep playing 4 seasons a day and things like that. But if there were seasons, that would make this competition a lot better for many players,
Hmm.
and we could have more players trying to achieve the top 1.
And
Yeah,
also you could put like maybe you could ban certain champions for certain
yeah, could be
as well. And
a
that would
rotative.
probably make the playing field a little bit more even. So when you get to back up to the top 1 and you finish theirs, it feels more of an achievement, you know? So, for example, they
Yeah,
banned Ahmad for a month, and that could help kind of deal with him a little bit and make it more spicy, right? A little bit of friendly competition between the big clans, for example, IPR, MAD, and SP, which we know there is
yeah,
rivalry between. Probably, I'd say there's more rivalry between SP and MAD and IPR and MAD, right?
yeah,
Just because on how dominating MAD can be in the arena. I don't think it's so. I guess it's starting to come into live arena a little bit. I suppose IPR probably like the most dominated one. I personally see on a daily basis. I see more IPR accounts than SP or MAD when I play with people.
yeah,
I don't see a lot of MAD, to be honest, even with them being on leaderboard. Maybe that's just my time. And most of the people as well on the leaderboard are actually content creators. There is a lot of people here. Like there's a content creator here. Obviously, you mentioned one as well. What's his name? Sorry.
uh,
Um, you just mentioned his name. It was Carton. Is it Carton? He's a content creator, I think, in Russia or Ukraine. I do watch other content creators in different languages as well because I'm kind of curious what they're working. Like I really enjoy strategy, right? So
I
I like
think
to learn.
I think 10% of this top 10 are made of content creators. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
me, you, Drock,
Mm,
Husk, Cartman,
mm.
Gesto. A lot of them
Murder
are
as well.
murder.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are more. There are more.
Basehead Rob.
Yeah, King Connor, that is Jack Jacobo,
Oh yeah, yeah,
and
yeah. Really good player. He
Taylor
used the
Swift.
Carnage.
Yeah,
Mm,
Taylor Swift. There is more. There's more.
yeah, yeah. So for me, I
Is
suppose.
Mostred.
Sorry, what did you say?
Is Mostred is another content creator that's starting.
Mm. So I suppose we mentioned roadmap. Mentioned roadmap seasons. Okay, yeah. For me was Gold 5, right? Yeah. So actually talking about matchmaker system, which is kind of a bit weird. I think the other day I've got a screenshot somewhere. I was on a win streak, right? And not on a lose streak, win streak, and I faced someone at 3,300. So, which is really bad for them. I'm too stubborn to give someone a win because I really care about my ranking, etc. And obviously, I'll take an easy win, and I think anyone would, to be honest.
Yeah,
But matchmaking system kind of needs to be sorted a little bit. So, for example, gold for and people that actually care about trying to climb that don't have the bigger roasters, but at some point will have to meet the better players. So I think adding a gold 4 and then a platinum arena would be a really good idea. So, for example, platinum arena being top 100, maybe top 500, and give people like a good shout out on the profiles as well. Like, for example, Fate finished number 4. Okay, his personal best in platinum arena on reset was personal 4. And this would be a better reset than platinum arena because platinum
yeah,
arena's 15 minutes is not really skill based at a certain point. It's more of who can farm faster. Obviously, there is kind of a lot of skill involved in it as well as RNG. Not denying that fact, but live arena is generally more of a skill base. What I feel it's more of a skill base, so people should
yeah.
definitely
Me
have
too.
that recognition, and that's why I probably do um, more live arena now than I do plan and push because it's just better. Um,
Yeah, more fun, more realistic, more
yeah,
live that we don't
yeah,
have on Classic Arena.
yeah. So
I basically only do the Classic Arena reset that is 40 minutes,
mm,
50 minutes a week, but compared to the time I lose on live arena fights, it's totally different.
yeah,
It's a
yeah.
lot funnier.
A lot more
And to have,
pressure. A lot more pressure. A lot more general rush. A lot more enjoyment.
yeah,
Especially,
choices.
yeah. So for me, I would add in a gold 4. I think I would add in and a platinum arena. And then when you're talking about the reset the platinum arena back into gold 5, and then have everyone push
Yeah,
back up into that. Then people like who are coming from gold 3, 4,800 are not facing the insane players with insane accounts plus insane knowledge compared to them,
yeah,
which means they're going to get. I mean, just the top 5 accounts have won a platinum arena reset at some point, right? I guess Doc could win way more if he actually push way more, right? He doesn't push as much.
right now, Med has a lot of dominance on Plateau Arena
Yeah.
reset. So outside the Med clan, it's hard to win. You have a
Yeah.
lot more chance being in Med.
Yeah.
Because, for example, on IPR, we got like 6, 7 plays doing the Platinum reset. Med like have like 30, 40.
Yep.
So it's a massive difference. You might have the same numbers as us on SP, even
Uh,
lower.
I think like 2 weeks ago, we had lower. I think this week we had more. And the week before we had more. It's kind of a
Yeah.
funny one with SP because like if Panda pushes, then you see a lot more SP to push, and obviously like
Yeah.
Mad are focusing on Panda because Panda is a big threat to
Their enemy.
their he's a big threat to their title, and they know that he has one of the big accounts that could cause them a problem or two. So they all normally gang up on him. I bet that's what they do on Doc's account as well. They're just ganging
Yeah.
up on him, and Live Arena doesn't work like that. You know, like it's really smart
The one
strategy.
one.
Huh? Yeah,
It's
it's
a
1-to-1.
one
Yeah.
versus one.
I
Yeah.
mean, I beat Husker on my account. So when I beat him, I was really surprised. I think it's because I had the Armads pick and I banded Marishka and bombed him. I believe I can't remember. It might be in my King Queen Narcissus as well. But yeah, when I beat him, I think I beat him twice actually. But he's a really good player, right? And when I beat
Yeah.
him, it's a massive relief. Fields as well. I think he's the highest SP member now. Really good player. And
Yeah. He's been driven by Lowy. Lowy's a really good player.
yeah, solid. And you know, he definitely should have some recognition. So he does takeovers as well, actually. Which is solid. Again, 2019 account as well. So yeah, for me, that's one thing I'd like to see from as a big plus. I would love to
Yeah.
see, and I think Plarium need to, I guess, sit up and notice because they're not really good on buffing old content, but Live Arena has a lot of potential, and like Clash of Clans was a game I played who benefit very similar to this. And obviously, we're starting to see them make some changes to Siege, which is a positive forward. Okay, it's happening very slowly, but it's happening slowly and surely. So let's see the same in Live Arena.
Yeah.
They're so focused on clan content. Well, for example, like if I get a new champion, I don't want to test a new champion and then lose 10 fights in a row, right?
Nobody wants.
Yeah, so if I could say, you know, Kurslin, would you mind like testing out a couple of my builds? Can I send you like a fight? And then we could test things between us, or even test things for like content as well. Like we don't have
Yeah.
test server access, and even if we did have test server access, the accounts on that are kind of underwhelming compared to the people that
Yeah.
we face
The
on
real
a daily
situation.
basis in
Yeah.
a real situation. So we could do with something like this. And again, fun content as well. Like we go in, I don't think going in with all epics would be fun, to be honest, but maybe going
Yeah. We
in,
can create the rules.
yeah, I think
Our
maybe,
own rules.
yeah, I think maybe we could go in and be like, okay, we're only going to take Silver and Watcher legendaries or champions from that faction, right? And have a bit of fun, mix up between the mythicals, the legendaries, and I suppose pull out some sleeper champions as well. You know, there's a lot of
Yeah.
good champions that go under the radar, so this would be a good thing to see as well. So it's
Yeah.
only
It's
gone.
good to see that there's a lot of room to grow the game.
Hmm.
You know, to make it better, bigger, and more players coming and more players enjoying, more players being there for more time. There is a lot of potential in Raid. They should use this potential to be a bigger and better game every day.
Yeah, end the
That,
memes. That's what we want to see. End the memes.
that's you.
So I want to end the video on a positive note. And it's really important that we kind of look at all these changes as positive. Even sheep, you know, like, okay, sheep is still a big problem, but it's starting to dwindle, I guess is the right word, right? It's starting to kind of fall off a little bit with Pinpoint. Um, do you like Pinpoint more in Ferals? Just like
Yeah, yeah.
you do?
it, it's the meta right now. It's the meta right now. You have to adapt it. They don't want to nerf the polymorph itself, so they're creating ways of dealing with it. Pinpoint is the first.
Mm-hmm.
Some champions with natural immunity, like a Lamasu, but maybe there will be more in the future, like passives
Mm.
that can
Yeah.
counter polymorph and things like that. So gradually, back in the past, you only would see polymorph on 6 stars in the top of the arena. Right now, half of the blessings are not polymorph anymore just because of pinpoint.
Yeah, I've
So if one
actually
more,
go on. So what are you gonna say?
okay, sorry, if one more thing like pinpoint appears, I think polymorph will be in a safe way.
Yeah.
It will disturb you. It will disturb you, but it's gonna be something that will be gradually better than it is right now.
Yeah. So you can see on my account, I actually don't run that much polymorph. I actually prefer other blessings. Like, for example, I'm a really big fan of Life Harvest. I've been a big fan of this for a long time.
Yeah, me
Really
too. Me too.
solid. Um, I still kind of do use Lightning Cage a little bit to try and protect the Stone Skin. Um,
Yeah, and that's
against,
really important right now.
yeah, especially with Marius. He's a
Yeah,
really, really good against like champions like Sigford, for example. Especially if you're not crazy fast. Like I've got really bad luck in this Stone Skin, right? And I have to have him in Stone Skin because Narcissus, you know? This is not even a good build. Like I will sit here
yeah,
and rip into my account. This is 25 speed, way too slow. I have a really good banner that is ready to go somewhere around here, like a tap banner with like triple speed, which I would love to use, but again, because of meta is meta, and he's one of the best champions, you kind of got to build him in that.
yeah.
So for me, yeah, I really do like the idea of the blessings. I think as well, a few blessings still need to be reworked a little bit, but I'll go into that on another video maybe. I think Ferald set needs a slight buff. I think it needs to be.
Now that you have pinpoint,
I still like the idea of running Ferald over pinpoint on certain champions throughout the whole duration of the fight, depending if the meta shifts again. If the
yeah,
meta shifts against speed teams, then which I can't see happening, but if it does, then I think Ferald could become better. I think with a higher percent chance as well, it could be a bit more better for low spenders and free to play as well, which could be a good one as well. But yeah, I will test out. I'm going to test out Ferald set at some point, but I need to start winning some more sieges for that one.
yeah. It's a little bit harder to farm Pharaoh than pinpoint right
Yeah,
now.
for sure. But that's about it. Would you like to add anything before we wrap up for today's video?
Uh, it's always good to talk about the game development and to see that people have ideas to grow the game and bring them together is always good to listen to the opinions, and we can make our community stronger if we share our ideas to grow the game together. A stronger community will have more power to negotiate with Clarion to tell them, hey, this is what we want for the future of the game. So listen to us, and try to bring a better version of the game every day. And it's really fun what we can do to the game if player listen more to the community.
Make more money as well. There's no
Yeah,
denying that. If people are enjoying the game, I know if I've got money to spend, but
yeah,
I'm more hesitant right now to spend money because I'm really happy with the game. Like there's no denying it. But the packs are one are awful, and two, there is still that little bit of stigma in the back of your mind where you've just been traumatized, especially for like long term players. We have that little
yeah,
bit of trauma that makes you think, oh, okay, I'm not going to do it because they're just going to bring someone else out or blah blah blah, which is always going to happen. It's business, you know. I
yeah,
suppose from me for ending a note is I would actually love to see a couple of bigger content creators to also do like a reaction back on this, right? And kind of just
yeah,
watch this back and have their say on it, especially like live arena specialists or arena specialists. I would really like you guys to kind of watch this back, you know, tag your favorite CC in the links and kind of ask them to do a reaction to this. And the more content creators that push this, the more that Plarium have to kind of react to this. I know sometimes they don't react to a lot of things, but sometimes, especially recently, with the feedback we've been giving them and a short amount of time that I've been in the content creator program, the the changes that are happening behind the scenes, which are slowly and surely building a better raid for content creators, for the community. And obviously, without the community, they wouldn't have a audience anyway. So it's really important to, please them. So any bigger content creators, if you could do reactions, then I really, really appreciate it. To try and make this content more fun, and again, more people to play this content, right? And it's healthy for everyone, and it
Yeah, for sure.
has big prospects, which has been, I guess, what's the word to say this politely, abandoned from Raid a little bit, you know. um,
Yeah.
so yeah, that's why I kind of want to end on that. So anyway, guys, please make sure you go and drop KRUYSEN a sub on his channel. It's free end of the day, and he's a fantastic content creator. Obviously, we probably will do more collabs in future.
Yeah.
As like live arena specialists of ourselves. He's driving a Porsche and a Lamborghini, and I'm driving the Mini Cooper. But it's all fun and games still. And then hopefully we're gonna have plenty of matchups still, because we do actually fight in the same similar time zones for a reset. So definitely gonna be facing each other a bit more.
Yeah.
He's ready for my commoners. I know he's like expecting it, right? I actually need to get him in
Let's
a.
go.
I actually need to get him in a better build. I've got a two-piece pinpoint ready to go, and just waiting on Marius to drop, and then I'm going to update his build anyway. That's it from me, guys. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Hopefully you enjoy this type of content. I don't do many collabs on the channel. I do want it to be rare, but when we do it, I want us to do it to the best of our ability, and to make it fun, right? I don't want to be doing every week and it gets boring. I want it to make it spicy and everything. So please give it a thumbs up. It does help support the content creators, like myself and KRUYSEN, and help us keep making content to help you guys to improve as well. And it's really, really important. So it's really good for the algorithm as well. I've been Grim. He's been KRUYSEN. I will see you on the next video. Peace.